So if you're wanting to apply to medicine as a graduate, then you've probably heard of the GAMSAT exam. Here is my GAMSAT journey and how FutureDoc are helping me prepare for the exam. So first of all, my name is Bradley and I'm one of the FutureDoc students. And I don't have a science background. Instead, I actually have a musical theatre background. So it's slightly different and it's not the traditional way of going into medicine. So when I was initially wanting to apply to medicine, I saw that some of my top choice universities wanted me to sit the GAMSAT exam. Now, I had never sat the GAMSAT before and I didn't really know what the exam entailed. So I did a bit of research and I saw that the section 3 was a lot about science, and I had not sat any science exams since I did my GCSEs. I didn't do science A-levels and I don't have a science degree. So for me, this was a really big worry because I just genuinely didn't know where to start. I didn't know what the content would be, but all I did know is, after I looked at a few of the questions, is that it was going to be a big step up from GCSE science. I genuinely sat for a minute and I thought, what am I going to do? Because this looks really difficult and I really need some help to be able to pass this exam. So when I was doing a bit more research into how I can do well in the GAMSAT, I came across a few of the FutureDoc videos and I was looking through their channel and I thought, oh my goodness, they have some really good advice. And I found their website, I applied, and I was actually lucky enough to get onto their program. And from day one, I was partnered with a GAMSAT tutor. And from that day, I just feel so much more relaxed about applying for medicine. I know that I'm going to get all the support I need to do well in not only the GAMSAT, but the other parts of the application too, because each part of the application is really important. And when I was talking to my tutor, they really emphasised that it's not just about this exam. You kind of got to do well in every part of it as well. So now that I'm a FutureDoc student, I get access to so many incredible resources, including regular one-on-ones with an expert tutor. And these are an absolute must if you're wanting to build the best application that you can. During these sessions, I get to bring any difficult questions that I've found and we get to work through them together. And I'm able to talk about any general concerns or worries that I have about my application. And to be able to get advice and support from someone who's been in my situation, they probably had the same worries that I have, just makes me feel so much more positive, because it makes me feel like I'm not going through it alone and I've got someone there to support me across each stage of the application. And that's just a wonderful feeling. I also get access to group sessions and masterclasses from application specialists. And I know that the information that I get from these sessions are the highest that it can be. So I'm not just falling for the common mistakes and I can just focus on building the best application that I can. I think one of my favourite parts about the FutureDoc process is having regular check-ins and regular mocks. So they know exactly how I'm developing as I'm coming towards the exam, and they can intervene if I need any support in a particular area. And I just think that is an incredible resource that they offer. So overall, I think that joining FutureDoc was one of the best decisions that I've made. To have access to incredible resources, to have high quality tuition is just amazing. And it has certainly made my whole GAMSAT experience a lot easier. And so here are some tips that the FutureDoc tutors gave me that I can pass on to you so that hopefully you can get into your dream medical school. So one tip that FutureDoc gave me is that reflection is really important, and especially when preparing for the GAMSAT exam. So when I'm getting questions that I found particularly difficult or questions that I'm getting wrong, I can put them into a spreadsheet, so then I can review this and find if there's a particular area of the GAMSAT that I'm struggling with and tailor approach my revision to that. So I'm working on the areas that I need to and not just doing random questions. So the second piece of advice that FutureDoc gave me is finding a balance between not working enough and working too much. I think that when I started revising for the GAMSAT exam, I was doing so many questions, and I thought that if I do more and more questions, that's the best way to improve in this exam. Whereas what I found out was that is the best way to burn out really quickly. So during my one-on-one with my tutor, I explained the whole situation, that I'm doing so many questions and I just feel really tired and I don't feel like my marks are improving. And between us, we made a personalised revision plan. So I knew how many hours I should be spending each day to make sure that I'm revising in the most productive way possible. The last piece of advice is that you don't need to be a science graduate to sit the GAMSAT exam. There is a level of knowledge that is good to know when sitting the exam, and FutureDoc makes sure that all that foundation knowledge is solid. It's more about being disciplined and resilient. If you want to find out more on how FutureDoc can help you get the best score that you can in your GAMSAT and help you with your medical or dental school application, then head over to the FutureDoc website and check out the FutureDoc Instagram and TikTok page.